Everybody, welcome back to Swinging at Shins. I'm Brian Marr, filling in for Rhett Conaway, and I'm joined, as always, by the main host, the biggest Villa fan in America, Mr. Aaron Slater. Aaron, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Honestly, you're doing a good start off right now for Swing That Shins. I think we might have to add you in.
Hey, I'll be here as long as I'm needed, but it's not. I'm not going to be as good as Rhett. I want everyone to know right away. I'm not. I don't have the knowledge that either Aaron or Rhett has, but luckily, Aaron, we have you to fill in all the gaps. On today's show, we are talking title race. Arsenal, is it time to panic? Spurs, it's probably time to panic.
Yeah, probably.
Probably, yeah. Uh, Liverpool, are they back? Then we're going to talk a little bit of relegation battle. But first, Aaron, let's talk about the FA Cup.
Yeah. So FA Cup happened this weekend as well for four teams. It was Man United, Sheffield United, who is down in the Championship, uh, Man City, and Brighton. That was the other one. I just had it up there. I happened to look at it too.
I'm
So
lucky.
the
I'm looking at the notes that Aaron made for me for this, so that's how I knew.
I actually forgot it was up here. I happened to look up in the top right corner. I was like, "Oh, Brighton, dope! That's the one I wanted."
And I'm glad you said that it was Sheffield, right? They're not in the Premier League because I was like, the hell is that?
Yeah,
I don't know them, but
they
yeah.
were last season, but then they got relegated.
Ooh,
Was it
tough.
two seasons ago? They've been in the Premier League. They're a
Hmm.
yo-yo team essentially.
Gotcha.
They
One of
try not to be, but
the fringe.
sometimes it happens. Yeah, the fringe essentially.
Hey, as a Dolphins fan who's the fringe playoff team, often not a playoff team, I can relate.
Yeah, could you imagine if other sports in America did relegation like that? Like even MLS doesn't do relegation, but if you were to
We got
combine
the
the
XFL and
CFL,
USFL now.
yeah, and even the CFL, throw them all in
Mm,
there, and then they were able to, up down.
yeah,
It'd be insane.
yeah. I think the CFL would probably be the two, the second league, and then
Hmm.
probably USFL, XFL, just based on how long they've been playing right now.
Yeah.
But it'd be very interesting.
Hmm.
But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Not the Premier League, and not the FA Cup. So, talk to me a little bit about this Man City Sheffield United match.
It was pretty much domination from City. So they went out and did what they had to do. Mares put in a hat trick. He put in a shift and said, "All right, see you in the finals, whoever it is."
Yes,
I mean, there really wasn't much to this game.
yeah, no, it doesn't seem 3-0, doesn't seem much, but the other game seemed
Hmm.
kind of exciting. Man City and Brighton. What happened there?
United. It happens.
Man United. Sorry,
It
sorry.
happens.
Again, fill in host. Please bear with me.
We all get mixed up. I mean, honestly, United City. Why do they have to have two teams? I mean, London has like 17.
That's so true.
It's like every block is a stadium, and you're like, you can't not run into one.
Mhm. I mean, I get. Hey, I get why football soccer is so big there. I mean,
Hmm.
it's
It's
such a
right
part of the
there.
culture.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, you walk and take the tunnel or tube, whatever they call it. It's tube, and you're within arm's distance. So yeah, it'd be like it's us in baseball or us in football. We're
Mm,
in same concept.
yeah, it's the New York City. London's the New York City
Yeah,
of England,
I would say so.
essentially, with all their teams.
Yeah,
I don't know much about the tube. Don't really know much about public transportation in general here in America, unfortunately.
yeah. Well, they
But
don't have
yeah,
to really worry about it, to be honest.
no. All right, so Man United and Brighton, what happened?
This match actually went to pens. It was a very much a back and forth match. A lot of it was a lot of it seemed to be going more Brighton's way than it was United. And not to say that United didn't do their due diligence and try to score as well, but United did what they also could do. De Zerbi felt pretty hard done at the manager for Brighton. Felt pretty upset that it went to pens because that's how much they thought that Brighton had played better. There was a little clip too I saw where Ten Hag had the manager for United had huddled around, had everybody come before the pen, and was like, "Hey, who wants to take the first pen?" Casemiro immediately throws up his hand, which is he was the new signing who was brought in. He's also like a phenomenal football player. He's so good at what he does. His job is so critical. I mean, we've said it numerous times on here. Whenever Casemiro has been out, it really hinders United's ability to score and ability to defend. But yeah, he stepped up to the pen and knocked it in. This went 7-6 towards United, and we actually have the first ever Manchester derby for an FA Cup.
Yeah, this is crazy. I'm sure all the fans will be very chill about it.
Oh God,
Uh, no, there won't be
no
any fights.
supporters
There
will
won't
be
be
injured.
anything, right? Yeah, no, it'll be fine. Manchester, famously a very chill sports fan base.
Sure, yeah, that's what I hear too.
Do you have a prediction? Do you want to piss off half of Manchester right now?
This game will probably go to pens, to be honest, as well. I because so this will be played after the season ends. It'll be a week after the season ends.
Mm,
So it also depends on whether City goes far in Champions League as well, because I think that's played 2 weeks after the uh, league ends as well. So another week after. Um, man, City's probably going to win. Actually, I
all right.
mean they're so good. Their
There's so,
depth.
yeah.
I actually so I follow somebody on Instagram, and he's a Villa fan as well, but he's
Mm,
in England, so it doesn't count.
right.
And
No, he's not the biggest American Villa
no,
fan, which
not
is
at
what
all.
really matters.
So he had to come up with this conspiracy theory
Okay.
where where Man City kind of play a little lax and dumpy in the beginning. I mean, they're obviously still winning matches, but they're not winning matches.
Right.
Now they've put up like 10 wins in a row or
Mhm.
some ridiculous run they've got going right now. And the theory is that the reason that they start so slow and end so hot is because the Premier League doesn't want to see them fans in Premier League doesn't want to see them win like by April, which is
Okay.
something that they could totally do,
Yeah.
you know. And then also the fact that City has all these FFP charges on them, over 100,
Mm,
so they're trying to like, hey, we're not that good. We're spending
mm,
all this money,
mm.
but we're still not that good.
Right.
But
Oh
I,
man, I love that. I'm here for a good sports conspiracy
I
any
think
day.
I think it's pretty marginal. It's not, excuse me, not a far out thought.
No, yeah, but yeah, and that brings us to the title race right
Title
there.
race. Mm-hmm.
So Arsenal started out so hot.
Oh yeah.
We cover them on the Way West stand with
Mm-hmm.
Rhett. Um, it's not been great in the last few weeks though.
Well, yeah, it's been pretty
Um,
tough.
and now Manchester City is right there.
Yep.
They have 2 games in hand and they're down 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is this time to panic if you're an Arsenal fan?
Well, see, the problem is like they're like, we don't want to have the hope, but we also don't want to panic. So where's the marriage?
Right.
I, yeah, you kind of panic a little bit. Your fingers hovering over the panic button right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how if I was a fan of Arsenal, that's how I'm feeling. You drew a couple weeks ago to Liverpool at Anfield. We discussed
Mm-hmm.
about that. Anfield's a weird place.
Yeah.
I mean, they went and stomped United. Liverpool did 7-0, and then they also the next week lose to Bournemouth. So it's like, where's the line for Liverpool?
Right.
Then again, Arsenal lose and bundle the match against West Ham United, where they were up to. This
Mm-hmm.
was last week's match, and they scored them early.
Right.
And I think they just kind of. The problem is, and Rhett will agree with me, is
Mm-hmm.
that Rob Holding, their center back, is terrible.
Okay.
And they don't have. He's not good. He's
Mhm.
not. Is it Saliba who's been out? I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, I think it's or Big Gabby. Hold on, I got the lineup right here. It's Saliba. Has been out, and he's been such a critical player for them. The pairing between Big Gabby and Saliba have married pretty well. Now you throw in Rob Holding, and he's just kind of like, I think he's championship quality, the tier below Premier League. It's just not. It's not gelling well. There's obvious defects with Rob Holding, and he is prone to make mistakes, and he's prone to give fouls away in terrible areas. He's prone to switch off more often than not, and I think that's a lot of what we're seeing. Maybe Partey is coming back and having to help more instead of being able to push the ball forward and being able to ping it out to the wide areas and attack from crosses and getting to the byline. It's just that stuff isn't happening right now, and it's killing them obviously. And the last match that they played, they had to come back against Southampton, the last place team in the league.
Yeah, so they really barely escaped Southampton
Yeah, it was.
with an
They
88-minute, 90th minute goal.
left it super late. They could have almost came back, and I think there was a couple opportunities in stoppage time where they could have scored and won the game.
Mhm.
It it's so as Arsenal fans have to feel frustrated.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Are like is Arsenal just like a little too inexperienced in this position as a team right now? Do you think the pressure of, it coming down to the end of Man City being right on their heels, do you think it's getting to the team?
It certainly seems that way, and that's hard to say anything otherwise.
Yeah.
Uh, Like they had an incredible run of games. Maybe they're getting tired. A lot of
Yeah.
teams seem to be kind of petering out right now, like Tottenham. Tottenham have
Mhm.
been petering out. Well, there's a lot of toxicity that's going on with that.
We'll
But
get there.
yeah, we definitely got some things to say about them too.
Mhm.
But this next match coming up is going to be obviously the most critical match that they have ever played this whole entire season.
Mhm. Yeah, Man City, Arsenal. That's at the time of recording tomorrow. At the time of listening, maybe already happened. Hopefully, we get it out before um, that. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do my best, and hopefully, you're listening before that. But I mean, do you have a prediction on this one?
Is it? Hold on, I gotta find out where that was the problem. Oh, it's at the Empty Head. Um, I want to side with Arsenal supporters because I want
Of
to see
course.
somebody other than City win the league. To be honest,
Mhm.
and it shouldn't always come down to how much you spend on players in order to win the league. Like Arsenal have done very well in developing players and being able to stick with players for a long time, like Gabby Martinelli and Bukayo Saka and Saliba and Big Gabby have all been players who have been, developed through the system. It's gonna be It's gonna be so tough.
Yeah.
I, I don't really want to give a prediction because
Okay.
it. I also don't want to upset the other half.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know where to
That
sit
makes
with
sense.
this. I'm
Yeah.
torn. I'm really torn.
Mhm.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So we'll see, and we don't have to wait long.
No, we won't.
We'll know this time tomorrow
Yep.
where everything stands. And silver lining, at least they'll still be in first no matter what.
This is true.
Granted, Man City has a game in hand after that, so
Hmm.
we'll see what happens. But if ever there's a time for them to make a statement, it's here and now.
Yeah. This match, if they want to say we are the title winners, we
Mhm.
have been the title winners since the beginning of September.
Mhm.
This is the match you grab by the throat, and I'm sure that's what Arteta's telling his players as well. Like
Mhm.
I'm sure after every training It's we are the league leaders. We will
Mm,
remain the league leaders after this match is over with.
mm,
You got to stick together. You got to know believe in your talents. That's how you should, if I'm Arteta, go about preparing for this match.
yeah. And you know what? Southampton before Man City, classic trap game, right?
That
Like
kind of, yeah, I would
so
think that.
easy to overlook the last place team, and
Sure. I mean,
you
you're
know,
at home too.
yeah,
Like, oh, well, this team is gonna just lay over for us.
right. And Southampton were
Said
like, no,
otherwise.
fuck
Yeah,
that. We're not gonna
we're
lay down
you
and
know,
die.
yeah, we're also fighting a relegation battle. We're not. We don't want to get sent down either.
Mhm.
So, uh, man,
So,
I want Arsenal. I want Arsenal to win
mm,
personally. I don't know if it's gonna happen though.
yeah, we'll see. So Arsenal obviously in a lot better spot than this next team that's
Hmm.
just in free fall. I I
Good
gotta
point.
ask, they fired their manager, right?
Yes, they did.
How often does a sixth place team this late in the season fire their manager? How weird is this a move, or is this normal?
No, this is not normal.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
what I kind
this
of
is
figured, but yeah.
this is not normal. But when the Spurs, like, I don't know if you were able to listen to that interview that Conte had said, come out and did, but you kind of got to believe him now, right? Like,
Mhm.
they've lost. How many games have they lost? Two in a row right now.
They are on a 3-game losing streak right
They've
now,
given up 9 goals, 9 goals in 2 matches
Mhm.
right now.
and they're on a 3-game losing streak, and the two games before that were draws. So they haven't won since March 11th.
Nah, you're skipping one. Wait. The what was the Brighton match? What day was that? Because they beat Brighton 2-1. Your mic.
My apologies, Spurs fans. I can't read schedule clearly. But yeah, okay. So their 2-game losing streak. They've drew two before that, and they did beat Brighton.
Yeah,
So
which is
um,
still a big win. Like,
yeah.
Brighton's a really good team, so there's nothing to take away from that.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
that was that a manager bounce? That might have been a manager bounce. So that tends to happen. You got the good feel goods that hey, this manager is no longer with us. We can do it. And then the next match, they're like, maybe we can't do it.
Yeah,
I mean, they
yeah,
lost to Bournemouth, who's, I mean, the same kind of feeling as how Arsenal had drew to uh, Southampton, and then
yeah.
they get slaughtered at at Newcastle. Was it?
Mhm.
Question mark.
Yeah. So it was a 6-1, just demolishing. And we had goals in this game in the second, the sixth, the ninth, the 19th, and the 21st minute. And then a 67-minute just to like really
Put
drive
it in.
the knife in,
Yeah. Like they needed the extra knife.
right?
Yeah. Well, it feels good for Colin Wilson because
Mhm.
he's been playing off the bench because Isak's been absolutely murdering it up top for them. Uh, you know, Spurs are Spursing right now. I said that's what's happening. They're so toxic, and
Mhm.
Conte clearly pointed that out. Dan Levy said, "Nah, that's not right. We're not toxic. You're toxic." And then, well, this is what we get. This is what you get. They don't have a team who knows how to win trophies. They don't know how to win when they're in free fall.
Mhm.
They're it, it's really bad right now. It is.
Yeah.
If I'm a Spurs fan, I'm praying for the end of the season.
Hey, it's not too far away, but do you think there'll be any hope next season with a new manager?
Depends on the manager.
Yeah,
It really
true.
does.
That's very important.
Uh, the problem is with this situation is that Spurs have an old squad. There's a mix of old and youth, but a lot of it is an older squad. We've talked about this before where, Harry Kane is north of 30. He's 31, 32 or something like that. Ivan Perisic is 34, 35. A couple other players. Hugo Lloris, the goalkeeper, 38. Uh, trying to think of some other players they have on their team right now off the top of my melon. There's just a
Needless to
lot of
say, there's going to be some
there's going
moves
to be
to be
turnover.
made.
Yeah. I mean, you could still keep Harry Kane. The guy
Of
scored
course.
200 goals. You're not going to just, we don't need you because you're old. Which they
Right.
might end up losing him in the summer anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because, winning games is great, but winning trophies is better.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to win trophies at Tottenham.
Yeah. Right.
So, look, whoever coach they decide to hire is going to have an undertaking. And that they're really going to have to turn over the rest of the squad. They're going to have to look and be like, look, you're not going to be here with us. You're not going to be here with us. We need more money to bring in some other players to turn this over. And whoever it is going to have a heart to heart with some of these players, man.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting, but kind of a death spiral right now, it seems.
Yeah. I mean, like so their interim coach Stellini got canned because of this
that's not
6-1
good.
match. So then they hire, I believe, Ryan Mason, who was a player himself. Unfortunately, he had a severe concussion or a neck injury where it knocked him out of his career, unfortunately. And I believe he's actually been an interim manager before. So this isn't his first time doing this. They just need somebody not to lose games right now. And that's what's happening.
Someone to stem the tide, right?
I mean, that's what you'd hope so as a
Stem
Spurs
the tide?
fan.
Is that it? Stem the bleeding? I don't know.
Ride the storm.
Someone to ride the storm. Just some vague thing. Yeah. So someone just needs to stop the bleeding here.
Yeah, for sure. They're gonna have to tourniquet the sucker, and they might have to tourniquet their head. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, Spurs are going in one direction. Liverpool maybe heading in another direction, the opposite direction.
I think so. They've done the opposite. I think they've scored 9 goals. Yeah, 9 goals in their last 2 matches.
They were on the other side of a 6-1.
Yeah,
It's Leeds.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. Yep, and then they made hella work against Forest. Forest were like, "Hey, we also want to stay up, and we would appreciate if you let us have a point." And
I'm so interested for our next segment on relegation because oh my god.
Yeah, we haven't talked about relegation in a while just because it's been from 11 to 20. Anybody from there can get relegated, but we'll get to that point.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I think Liverpool. Let me see who they're playing. They're playing West Ham coming up at West Ham. I'm not going to say it's an easy win because I feel like West Ham they're starting to turn their ship around too. But the difference is Liverpool is keeping out goals. They're doing better, a little better defensively, and a little bit better in the midfield. What I've been saying is Trent Alexander-Arnold is a right back for England for Liverpool, and they play him as a right back, but he plays more of a midfielder. He doesn't defend well. Hell, he plays better as a forward. To be honest, the way he crosses balls in and the depth that he puts on these crosses and into the box is incredible. It's unseen. It's not unseen. There's players who do it, but from a right back position, it's really good. From a forward position, it's still really good, but more common. He's still young enough. I think if they were to go out and buy a able-bodied right back who can play the defensive side of that position and be able to push Trent Alexander-Arnold up, then I think that team makes way more sense depth-wise. Let me see their squad here, who end up being booted out, unfortunately. Actually, it makes more sense if I look at their... So Henderson would essentially get booted out, which he's 32 years old. I mean, age is kind of getting the best of him. He's
Yeah.
got a lot of minutes on his legs. They've
Always
played.
painful to hear when someone's near your age in real life, and it just has to be like, oh, he's getting up there. I don't know.
I'm turning 32 this year. You know how painful
Yeah,
that was?
it's
It's
tough.
like,
It's so tough.
like he's getting old. Oh, wait, that's me too.
But hey, perfect podcasting. I would say prime podcasting age to be
No,
32.
for sure. I
So
mean, especially for bald guys with beards.
yeah,
And
exactly.
glasses. I forgot about glasses because that's obviously something that needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Got to break up the whole face.
Yeah.
That's really. I would do LASIK, but the glasses look good on me.
Hey, yeah, right. And you don't have to worry about like lasers in your eyes. I don't know.
Exactly.
I hear it's very safe. I don't want to.
I heard that too. Actually, I hear it's actually kind of a life-changing thing, to be honest.
Right.
But also, I don't want to do it because I look stylish. Anyway, for the viewers, I just have regular glasses on. It's not a big deal. Did I say viewers, listeners? Whatever. It's okay.
Anyway, listeners, same thing.
Yeah, we all love you all the same.
Exactly. No matter how you consume it, we appreciate it.
Exactly. But anyway, I think Trent pushing him up, getting a proper right back in, it actually makes a ton more sense. Being Mo Salah ahead of you and having Cody Gakpo and Diego Jota, who is really finding his feet. He's killing
in the notes. Jota is back, all caps.
Yeah, he's been injured. He's had a couple big injuries, but the player that they bought from Wolves is the same player now that they're getting. He's so good with his footwork, and he knows how to volley. He plays big for his size. He's only like 5'8" or something like that, which is also my height, but whatever. Yeah, he just plays. He plays beyond his stature. He's so good at footwork, and it brings a lot of dynamicism to the squad that they've been kind of missing. And I think that's part of their success is Jota being back on the field.
Yeah, hey, love to see it for Liverpool.
Yeah.
If you're a Liverpool
seriously,
fan,
you love to see it. There's nothing more really to say beyond that. I mean, I guess also I'd really like to see Darwin Nunez scoring goals too. He's how much did that cost him? Like 78 million or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's only had a handful of goals, I believe. But again, I gave him a couple of excuses. Like he moved from Portugal to England. The climates are different.
Mm-hmm.
Living.
Yeah, very different.
I think that's the thing that people don't appreciate about players who click in so well. Is that it is a life-changing event that they're doing right now. They're going from something that they've known for a long time. They can speak the language well. They're comfortable, and then they have to go break out of that shell and go move to England, or if an English player has to move to Italy, or all that sort of stuff. Fans don't think about because video games tell them that it doesn't matter,
right?
Or also being paid a ton of money and being prolific in the last league, and just other factors. The fact that you're being signed by a big club, you should be playing well out of the gate. But there's all that turbulent stuff that happens.
And fans are always just so understanding.
That one. No, definitely understanding. That's the word I wanted to use.
They just they appreciate it. They know how hard things can be, and they're very chill about it.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh man. All right. So, unless you have anything else on Liverpool,
no, I could actually see Liverpool. I mean, I hope this doesn't happen. And there's still Opta, which is like the website where we get a bunch of our information as far as statistics go. They have a supercomputer, whatever the hell that means. Okay. And we've already diced out that we really don't care about the supercomputer, or I care about it too much. Okay. Still has them pegging up into 4th, 5th position in the title race here. Not really a title race, but in the final of the season here. And I'm hoping that's not the case. But they still do have a game in hand, and there's a chance that that could happen. Them pushing up to fifth, which is where Villa is sitting right now. So I just wanted to plug that real quick.
Right.
And I wanted
Yeah.
people to know that Villa is. You don't have to scroll to see where Villa is anymore. You're just right there.
Yeah. So if you want to hear us talk about Villa, check out our Villa on Weird Sports. Little plug there. Supercomputers. I don't know. With all the AI talking stuff, as a content creator or an aspiring one, I'm a little nervous about all this
Chat
stuff. Quite
GPT is going to
frankly,
take our jobs, man.
yeah. I mean, there'll be a Chat GPT Aaron and a Chat GPT Brian just taking our place.
Yeah, oh man, that's unfortunate. Do we still get paid? Well, we don't get paid
Well, we
right
don't
now.
get paid now, so we make the same amount. Oh man! But hey, if you want to see us get paid eventually, please tell your friends about Swinging Shins.
Yes, please. And
help us.
Go to Wicked Good Sports too, man.
Yes, please do.
Or any sponsors out there who are listening to us, please, hit us up. We got emails.
Yeah, I'm not proud. I'll hawk anything pretty much,
Whatever.
as long as it's legal.
Any
We're gonna get an
gamblers
AI
out there
sponsor.
gambling, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yep. Hey, morals only
Manscaped,
go
hit
so
us up.
far. Oh yeah. I mean, hey, Manscaped would be a great
Oh,
sponsor.
yeah, right.
Only thing, that's a great company. All right, so as we go off the rails a little bit,
it makes it entertaining.
Things like you said, things were really, really like log jammed for a while in the relegation battle, to the point where like making predictions is almost pointless because any team potentially from that bottom half could have been down. Things have started to clear up a little bit, it seems.
I think so too. I think it's kind of, some teams are sorting themselves out. I still think there's some teams who are under exceeding and over exceeding right now, but
Well, right now we got 18th Everton, 19th Nottingham Forest, and 20th Southampton. Could this be how it ends? Are these the teams that are getting relegated?
Well, I know Everton fans don't want to hear it, and I don't blame them because when Villa got promoted in 2019, they also had to hear this. So I want to root for Everton because they're such a historic club. But there was that video that I had sent you guys in the group there, where if they don't get promoted, they have so much money that they're going to have to pay forward. I want to say it was $150 million loan. And they're also building a new stadium. Where are the funds going to come from? That's part of the reason why I'm hoping Everton stay up. To answer your question, is this how I see it? Let me check Bournemouth, because that'd be the other. Honestly, Bournemouth leads, and I think Liverpool, Leicester were able to pull a draw today against also relegation threaded Leeds. So that's a big secured point for them. Any point is a good point. Doesn't matter how you get it, how dirty it is.
At this point, you're literally fighting for your life. It's whatever.
Survival of the fittest, man. Let's see. Bournemouth fixtures here. So this is pretty big news. They actually, Bournemouth play Southampton this Thursday. So that's a critical match for both those clubs there.
Bournemouth with 33 points, Southampton with 24 for those wondering at home.
So let me see. So the win for Southampton won't get them out of the zone, but it'll do a whole lot of good in getting out of the zone in the future.
Right.
And Southampton play home. I feel like they'll probably have a lot of confidence after, even though they drew against Arsenal. You got to feel good that you drew against Arsenal.
Of course. I mean, they're the first team in the league. You're the last team. That's amazing.
Yeah. So Bournemouth did just get slapped against West Ham 4-0. You might feel a little bit down on yourself. that's how ebbs and flows, man, is so critical to these kind of teams here at the bottom of the table because you could just catch yourself falling at the wrong time, and it might be the wrong time for could be the wrong time for Forest. They've been in free fall lately. But Southampton, this match probably a draw, but I feel like Southampton have the better quality, honestly, which is weird to say because I've been also poo-pooing on Southampton, saying that they have a championship squad. There's a couple players I really like on their squad. Alcaraz, the guy who put in the first goal, and man, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Is it Latvia? Midfielder that. So I've been also saying that Southampton are Man City 2.0 because they bought a bunch of academy players from Man City, and I don't know how that. So Villa also had bought Douglas Luiz from Man City, and what you can do as a club that sells like that is you can put a buyback clause. So what a buyback clause is exactly what it sounds like. Is you set a price point, and we'll say, let's say, for example, Southampton had bought Latvia for like 20 million or something. And Man City could be like, okay, that's fine, but we'll also put a $35 million or $30 million buyback clause. And they can buy back him at any point of that expiration if there's an expiration date. Typically there's an expiration date because, you don't want that looming over your head for a while. So it could be like a year and a half, 2 years of just like, oh my God, are they going to buy back him because he's been playing so well? If Southampton were to go down, that's probably somebody who's going to get picked up. Like teams tend to pick the bones when players, because they can't afford, they're either players are pissed off, they can't afford it, or buyback clauses.
It's very funny. So, like you said, they have a champion roster. So it's like the top, they're fighting for a championship, and the bottom, if you say they have a champion roster, it's bad.
Yeah, no,
champions on either end.
Yeah, that's actually, you have a championship squad.
Yeah,
you're playing. You're a second division squad. That's how I feel. Like, God, their goalkeeper's terrible, and I think that's a lot of their problem. Bazunu is absolute trash. That sometimes happens, especially if you want to play a certain play style. Like that was another guy who was brought up by Man City Academy. So they are taught they're playing more sweeper keeper style, which is playing with a goalkeeper that plays with their feet more. They're more influential through the defense, facilitating the ball left or right or out to your playmakers or something like that, instead of just booting it up if you feel like the pressure's on you. Or they could get out of pressure. There's that sort of thing. Like City has Ederson, who's extremely good with his feet. And, it makes football 11 on 11. So, like in American football, Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
He can run with his legs. So now the defense has to think, okay, we have to mark him too. But if you have a pocket passer, you don't have to mark him as well. And now it's 10 on 11 versus 11 on 11.
Right.
So the same kind of style with the goalkeeper.
Sense. Yeah. And if I could just say, Baltimore, fucking pay Lamar Jackson. Come on.
For real.
What are we doing here?
He's worth a lot of money, guys.
Yeah.
But he's also worth his money.
I'm a huge Lamar Jackson fan.
So am I. He's on my dynasty squad. So
yeah. Exactly. Sorry for anyone who's only Premier League fan of this and like, why do they keep talking about football? Because of Wicked Good Sports. I'm the football podcast guy.
He's the guy.
Football. Yeah. Oh man. So we got to put it in simple terms that Brian can understand.
Well, just little tidbits, and then we'll grow your soccer brain.
Yes, that's part of the reason I want to learn all I can.
And that will more than acceptable to help you learn. Those
Exactly.
words, all those sentences did not make sense. But
Hey, that's all right.
yeah,
So
been talking.
any other relegation stuff? Yeah, we've been talking for like an hour straight.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's kind of some slack.
For real, because I'm usually not the one that talks a bunch either, so it's
Right.
kind of
I'm
like,
sorry.
and no, it's not your fault. I also have to talk too, but like Rhett does a lot of the talking as well, and then
Mhm.
I kind of just you know put in my 2 cents as well,
Right. Well, you've
and
done
it
a great
always
job.
works. It works well. We
Right.
do a great job. So also congratulations, Rhett, and your family on building your
Yes.
second child.
Yes. Big
So
hands. We're all
great
happy,
job.
very
Sorry it took
excited.
40 minutes for us to get to that, but
Oh my god. Yeah. I think last week we mentioned it on Villa
we
Villa, right?
did, but did
Yeah.
it? Yeah, it happened on my Villa. I think we congratulated
Yeah.
them, but
Exactly. But yeah, in case anyone's wondering why Brian is here,
yes,
because
because
it's very good news.
Rhett went
Happy.
and built his family.
Yes.
To the point now, back to the relegation
Mhm.
side here.
Yes.
Um, the long-winded question that I answer that I gave you, I don't think that this is going to sit as it is. I think Everton have the best possibility of getting out. If they can keep Dominic Calvin-Lewin healthy, and Sean Dyche does a really good job of not allowing teams to score. Uh, there's a possibility that they stay up, and Bournemouth are the team that actually goes down, maybe even Leeds. But it's this has been some of the tightest relegation, the weirdest Premier League, the spiciest Premier League that I've seen in a while.
Hey,
I,
and
I mean, realistically, if it were to happen, Chelsea are technically still in relegation battle. Like if they were to
that's
lose
true.
out
Yeah.
and other teams shuffle through, they
Mhm.
could, in theory, get relegated.
Yeah. Which I don't think anyone would be too upset with, other than Chelsea
Other
fans.
than Chelsea fans, yeah.
Just given
Oh
the
my
recent
god.
stuff.
Well, yes, exactly, the coaching, the buying of 1,000 players, and having a new owner. My goodness, you know how bad that's going to look if like they go any farther down. Todd Bowley's head's going to be on a platter.
We'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, I think. Well, you want to talk a little bit of Leicester City? They're a capable team now.
I think Leicester City are a capable team. I
Yeah.
mean, they pulled 2 draws out of their butts, or was it a win and a draw? If my page would load, that'd be very nice of it. Oh, yeah, okay. So they did win. They finally
Yeah.
snapped that 3-game losing streak I think they had. I only see their first 5, so
Mm.
they did, to my knowledge, have 3 in a row losses, and then they went and picked up a win. I thought they looked really good against the Wolves last week in their last match, and they seemed more attacking and deserved that win over the Wolves. I wasn't able to watch the Leeds match, but they did have a goal disallowed 6 minutes in, which obviously is always deflating to have happen. And Leeds did take the lead, and I'm sitting here. I know Leicester is a derby team and a Midlands derby, but I also don't really like. I don't want to see them go down either. Like they're a good squad, and I know they have financial issues with their owner. And I think if they just stay up for this season, they're probably owners are going to change hands. They're going to probably sell the club. Obviously, financial issues are financial issues, and they need
Mhm.
to find a new owner, which I'm sure they will because they're not a terrible squad. So I think as far as Leicester goes, they have Everton coming up. Is it Everton? Yes, it is Everton. So another big match right there. They every match I say every match is a big match, but every match is a big match when you're in relegation.
Yes.
And
Of
this
course.
is also a big critical match because Everton are in 18th and Leicester are in 17th. And a win for Everton would see them leap forward. So, and City, I say City, Leicester City are home, so it makes it a little easier for them. Easier, air quotes. They're on television too. They'll be on USA. Good for them. But this will be a tough match because Sean Dyche, like I said, plays a very defensive style, counter-attacking kind of football, and Leicester City are more expansive, and they want to play more expansive and expressive, and uh, maybe Everton take advantage of that, or maybe Leicester take advantage of the fact that Everton are sitting back. So it'll be kind of an exciting match.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
I
we'll
mean,
have to see what happens.
just based off of the narrative in general,
Yeah.
it's an exciting match. That's
Yeah.
why it's on TV. So, you know.
Oh, man. All right. Well, we did it.
Yeah.
We got through our first episode with me as
Congratulations, Brian. You
the
did well.
fill-in. Yes,
I'm
thank
proud of
you.
you.
I was nervous. I will admit, most of the time I'm very much in my element. I know what I'm talking about with podcasts. So to do one where I was reading articles and watching videos and getting jealous of that guy who has the touch screen on YouTube.
Oh, JJ Bull and T Foyle and all those guys. Yeah, we're pretty jealous.
Yeah, pretty cool. I have to say, pretty cool setup they have there.
Yeah.
But thank you for leading me through it and for being such a great host.
No, of
And
course. Glad you're here to enjoy us, Brian.
Yes. So anything you want to promote before we get out of here?
Well, we already touched on Villa. We hit Way West Stand. Well, there's also Wicked Good Sport that we touched on. Albany Gooners, if you're around the Albany Capital District of New York. Rhett has his collection of fans there at Beer Garden. Go check them out. Those guys are a fun crowd to be around. Tomorrow, I'm assuming that obviously should be at Beer Garden. Tomorrow,
It's a
Wednesday.
big one tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today, while you're listening.
So go hang out with those guys. They're incredible people. A lot of love going on there. So
awesome.
Go hang out with them at the Beer Garden and the Beer Garden in general.
And find them, on Instagram and Facebook and all that. The Albany Gooners. Other than that, for me, like Aaron said, check out Wicked Good Sports. We cover all the major American sports as well as, of course, the Premier League and any kind of interesting stuff going on there. And then I host, if somehow you're not tired of hearing from me or you liked listening to me even, I host a bunch of podcasts on our Better Radio podcast channel. Check that out. And then the main channel is, of course, Wicked Good Everything. That's the mothership, the top of the pyramid, as it was that all the other channels have come out of. But other than that, Aaron, this was a lot of fun. Can't wait to do it again soon. And thank you all so much for listening.
Thank you, everybody.